Welcome back. Episode 5. Zebras have stripes. I always start off disclosures. Uh, got 4 kids, 3 baby mamas, and I ain't married none of them. Again, you come to this video trying to be expired. This ain't the place. You're trying to really, you come here to really hear what's going on in our communities and things that we can do to change it and get the best out of it. This is the place to be. Now, this video, man, is gonna be, I guess they would say, for the ladies. But I really want to do this video to talk about our disloyal, self-hating brothers, and how that disloyalty has led to a lot of the mentalities we see in a lot of our queens today. Now, there was a time period where my African brothers would never even desire any other woman but their African queen, and we went from never being able to date outside of our kingdom to now being by ourselves the most interracial. We date outside of our race compared more than any other race combined, right? Men and women. And it's a true evidence of how much we hate ourselves, right? And how that disloyalty has sparked our African women to adopt mentalities and perceptions of us that essentially destroy the fabric of the African family, which essentially is the cornerstones to our community. The African family has always been the cornerstone of the community, and the destruction of that simply comes from within ourselves. We control a lot of the factors that go into that. But a big factor too is not only that in today is the disloyalty from brothers who hate themselves, who have indoctrinated such a weak mentality that they need women who are going to be more docile and more nurturing, because the mentality of these brothers are so weak in retrospect, that they need that type of comforting. They need the type of I would say they need that self-eternal start, right? And then they're also their inability to desire to want to build that, to help build a broken woman. Society has done single-handedly attack on African women, and then in every single way they turn, those African women are shown self-hatred from a child age, and then we reinforce and double down on that self-hatred by our desire to step away from them in the bonds of unionship and marriage. We want to use and abuse them and exploit them to the point where they believe that is their only self-worth. And then they have, in addition to that, and we look at the bonds of loyalty that they have shown us throughout the years, through their constant, rape and essentially loss of self-worth. They always remain loyal, even through the constant struggles of the fear of going through things alone due to the lynchings and the constant terror that leaves for not only the children but for as the family bond, and then also being supportive through all the struggles of never being given that fair shot at the what we call the American dream, and still remain loyal to the family and to the unionship. And we don't now in this day and age we don't show that same type of loyalty back to them, and we see that through how they adopt these mentalities of self hatred and self loathing because of our own self hatred. We see our African women believing in a feminist movement that does nothing for them. They have adopted the mentality that they are equivalent to any man, and men essentially self-worth and value is nothing. And we have gone to almost this battle amongst each other of essentially who does each other out. And it's just a evidence of trying to force us to hate each other. And we see these rising increases in homosexuality amongst both genders. We see this rising, this essentially rising this large incline in exploitation between men and women, whether it's men exploiting women for sexuality and sex, or women exploiting men for their resources and riches, and which obviously again essentially people using our primal instincts against us, and that almost has become the norm in our society amongst our cultures, that that we expect that almost from each other, that